Chair recognizes Ms. McSally from Arizona.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I've received a statement from CBP Officers Union on their concerns regarding staffing at our ports of entry and efforts to support this. I ask unanimous consent it be included in the record.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Secretary Kelly. I represent Southern Arizona, about 80 miles of the border, and we look forward to hosting you in the Tucson sector later this week. We have, and also I'm also the Border Security Subcommittee chair in this committee. I would talk about our frustrations of border residents, ranchers, and Border Patrol agents, and myself in my role as someone who represents this community and chairs the subcommittee in 4 areas. The first is the measurement of border security. The way that DHS has measured border security in the past has not been useful. The denominator is not included in the numerator of apprehensions or people that have turned themselves in. Last year in a hearing, I got Chief Vitello to admit that when I asked him as a fighter pilot, I think in simple terms, what % of the 2,000-mile border do you have situational awareness of? If something is breached, you see it. And the answer was 56%. So the first frustration is how we measure effectiveness, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on that and adjusting that. The second one is, in rural areas like ours, defense in depth, where we cede territory to the cartels. So we have individuals that are, when we're saying we have hours to days, we have families, ranchers, and others that are, this is a public safety threat. Transnational criminal organizations trafficking through our community, creating a public safety threat. So this idea that we have days or hours to days to intercept them in this defense in depth, it doesn't work for a community like ours. And also the fixed checkpoints, which we've really not got good answers as to whether they're effective or not, which are impacting people going about their daily business and commerce. But this is all part of the defense in depth. So that's another significant frustration that you'll see. And then the last thing is the % of the Border Patrol agents that are actually patrolling at the border versus doing other QUEEP and additional duties or other issues further away from the border. So these are really the 4 things. I just like some of your thoughts on measuring effectiveness, this whole ceding territory issue, fixed checkpoints, and then % of the agents that are actually on the line.
I've got to tell you, that's why I'm going down to Tucson to find out about these very things. So the defense in depth, in my mind, at least the way I think of it, is it's more going south, Mexico, Central America, Colombia.
It's not what it is right now.
Right. If they get in, if the border is penetrated, we've lost. For the most part, right. We've lost. So I'm thinking it the other way in terms of working with partners to the south and taking care of the issues. And I won't go into it again about this, socioeconomic conditions in the central. I don't know how we, to be honest with you, I've heard this a number of times from members and others. I don't know what the metrics are. So going forward, as we look at a physical barrier and some of the other things we're looking at, I've asked the staff, tell me how we measure success or failure. I mean, I suspect it has a lot to do with, well, not I suspect. They can tell me, us, how many people they've stopped, but, how many people got through. Tell me what the metrics are here. So I'm with you on
but you don't know who you didn't see. I know, exactly. Is the point, right?
Exactly.
So our view is, and again, we've got some legislation on this, the % that we have situational awareness of, and then % we have operational control of, that we can actually intercept it. I mean, we look forward to working with you later on this.
That. Yeah, we will.
Current effectiveness numbers don't work.
Yeah, got it.
And then back to defense. Right now, the strategy is fixed checkpoints that make cartels go around the checkpoints into our communities while you catch Darwin Award-winning low-level criminals going through known fixed checkpoints. It doesn't work. Do you have any comments on that?
Well, again, going down there to talk to the people on the line to include, hopefully ranchers and people like that. I mean, I've already been in contact with a couple.
Great.
Every bit, as you know, McAllen is different than Tucson, which is different. Right. So I think the solution is different in every place, but I do believe it starts trying to prevent the border from being penetrated. As I say, after that, we've lost. And
do you have any comments on kind of the level of effort Border Patrol agents actually reporting to patrol the border versus doing other duties?
It has been brought up to me, and the folks are looking into it to satisfy me that this is a common theme. They're involved in things that aren't really Border Patrol. So I'm going to find out what those things are, and then if they can be done by someone else so that we can maximize the number of people on the border.
I look forward to working with you on all these issues and visiting with you at the end of the week. Thanks. I yield back.